Yeah, hey Dave, they scored that run on you in the top of the second, and then you scored five in the bottom. Kind of, what did you think about that, and what did you think your hitters did well against Mercurius in that inning?
Well, we got him out of the stretch a little bit, obviously, and I don't remember exactly what all went down. We had two on, and then the very first pitch, off-speed pitch, New hit it off the fence. I think before that, we bounced one over the first baseman's head, and I think Eloy missed second base, so he went back, and because he was looking back, you just got to pick up your coach. So um, good to get that in, and then just sack fly, I think, and just did a good job of putting the bat on the ball, making him field it, kind of helping out, advancing runners, and it was a really good inning. Loved the sixth inning with a couple of really nice bunts, drag bunt, and then another drag bunt, and loaded them up, and then obviously Cam hit the ball out of the park, but we set that inning up really nice and executed, very well, obviously.
Alexander Peck came in for Carter. First off, do you have an update on Carter?
No, I mean they're going to look at his nose again. I mean it. I'm not going to say it's broken, but it could be. But doesn't mean he was ready to play. He stood. No, I could have brought him back in at any time because he was cleared. He stood in the tunnel with his helmet on basically the whole game, right there. Like, hey, I'm right here. You see me? I want to go hit. Uh, but we'll get him looked at here, real good, figured out, and figure out if we're going to play him tomorrow or not.
Peck hadn't had a hit for you since March 1st, and that was his first home run that he's ever hit in a game here. What did you think about that at bat, and just how he played overall?
Well, overall, I thought he did a nice job. He had three at bats. He struck out twice, but the first at bat didn't go well. He looked overmatched, and he's seen 92 miles an hour a lot in the fall and with our scrimmages, and probably when he played a little bit. But he's had a little. It was an awkward at bat, and then his second at bat, he was on some pitches, and I think the pitch he hit out of the park was what like a 3-2 slider or cutter, and he stayed on it and hammered it. It was a big swing because they just punched in a run, made it 5-2. Starting to get a little closer. Dietz, and you haven't asked me about him yet, but he didn't have his best stuff tonight. He didn't have his command. I mean, he walked two in one inning, hadn't done that in SEC play until tonight, I don't think. But for us to pop two runs right there is just, jabbed right back at him, and they were kind of like, yeah, they were trying to get back in the game, and that slowed him down a lot. And then obviously the next inning we put together that 4-run inning.
I was going to ask about Dietz. You mentioned he didn't have his best stuff, but he still gave you a 7 strong inning. Just what's that
Yeah,
say about him?
yeah, he's a battler now. Like I said, he didn't have the command he's had, and Oklahoma obviously saw that a little bit and took some pitches, and they did a nice job with two strikes, slapping some base hits in the hole over there at 6-5 hole. A couple of their left-handed hitters, and just kind of getting his pitch count up. And uh, but he'd throw one really good breaking ball, then it would be like, what was that? Like it was just popping out of his hand, and he'd throw a great one, bad one, and a great one. Um, but it was mostly fastballs, cutters, threw some nice changeups to some right-handers, and then that breaking ball was really good whenever he got it right. And yeah, he just battled. To answer your question, yeah, he didn't have his best stuff, but he showed a lot of toughness, and he knew that we needed to get some innings out of him.
And Kojal's home run to center, did you think it had enough to get out? And then just his day overall, 3 hits.
Yeah, when he hit it, I didn't. I know he kind of sliced it. The wind's blowing right to left, so the wind didn't hurt it like I thought it was. It maybe pushed it just a little bit. Air's thin. I guess to answer your question again, I thought it was going to be a deep sack fly, and wow, you just missed it type thing. And he backspun it so much, it just kind of just kept going.
You talked about you don't need everybody in the lineup to contribute, but today all 9 guys, other than Rutenbar, scored. I mean, do you feel like the lineup's reached a point maybe at this point of the season where you can get those contributions from up and down, and it doesn't have to rely on 3 or 4 guys right now?
Yeah, that's the way we feel. I mean, I got guys with power at the bottom of the lineup, but then they can run too. They can steal a base. You make a mistake, they get a home run. We've got that throughout our lineup. Even Ruiz, he's got sneaky power. I mean, he crushed that ball. and big swing added on to that lead. So I feel good about our lineup up and down, and right now it just seems like we're playing better. We got a little better feeling.
How good was it to see the day that Micah had? Especially over 4 against Ole Miss, and there's a chance maybe Turner starts today, but you leave him in there. And how good was it to see him come through?
I kidded with Turner before the game. He came in the dugout, and I said, "You ever hit a walk-off homer and not play the next day?" He said, "No, sir." And I said, "I'll make it up to you one day." So, but yeah, I mean, Micah's a great defender. Want him out there, experienced. Has been maybe struggling a little bit at the plate, but with Dietz on the mound, just wanted to try to, have some guys out there to make plays with experience and let Dietz do his thing. But for him to, hit that big double, and then obviously hit the home run, he's had a couple strikeouts in between that he was pretty frustrated about because they were fastballs, and both of the balls that he hit off the wall, one off the wall and out of the park, were off speed, and so I'm guessing tomorrow he's going to get a lot of fastballs.
Got an idea on pitching tomorrow?
Oh yeah, we're going to go Gackle. We weren't trying to hide anything from anybody. If we needed Gackle tonight, we were going to use him, and so that's who we're throwing tomorrow.
You can throw a pitch to you.
Oh no, he wasn't even down there. No, he wasn't down there to pitch.
Last year was this weekend, the second to last weekend of the season, where Dietz came back. Did you always feel like you were going to get this version of him eventually in his Arkansas career?
I mean, I would say that I wasn't 100% sure, but we saw some good innings or some batters. I mean, even down there last year at LSU when we got beat on a Saturday, we got walked off the field with him on the mound. His stuff was amazing. We're going, hey, if we can get that guy right, that's going to be a good one for us. And then we saw a little bit of it in the fall. We thought, yeah, here we go. And obviously, once he mentally 100% over the hump that he's fine, 100% healthy, he's letting it rip, man. He's good.
With Reese being out at first and then Carter going out, some people might say, oh, there's trouble here. But I think I remember you saying in January you really liked Alexander Peck's defense on the corners.
Yeah.
What have you thought about him defensively?
Thought he played great today. He made one almost pick, but he's long leg and arms, and he got out there on a ball, and also had a ball that was thrown to his left by our third baseman. He stretched a lot, made it look easy. Yeah, I mean, he's a good defender. Played shortstop in high school. He's gotten a lot stronger since he's been here, and he can play all 4 infield positions, which is a plus. And you saw a little bit of power, and I think his power's still coming. He's got a ways to go with that, but with regular development and strength and conditioning, he should be a guy that hits double-digit home runs one day.
You told the team after you beat Ole Miss on Sunday that you got to have freshmen step up, and this is 2 games in a row where you've had that. I wonder what you've thought about the way they've done that, come off the bench and step up for you.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. They've been with us 9 months now, most of them, and most of them are done with school now. And it's cliche, but they're not a freshman anymore. You still are, but shouldn't be scared anymore. You shouldn't be uptight. You shouldn't be nervous. Maybe a little anxious because that's sports, but you wouldn't be here if you weren't pretty good.
This is 2 weeks in a row where you've won your first game 12-2, a run rule. How do you feel like that sets up the rest of the weekend from a pitching perspective?
Well, we got to save some pitching. That's probably the plus, and they saved some guys too. Once they got to a certain point, they threw some guys that maybe aren't their main relievers, but they threw well and they have good arms. I told the team, that's one basically, but we did the same thing last weekend. We had a great game all the way around, and then it didn't go so good the next day. So we got to stay focused. The guy they're throwing at us tomorrow's got an incredible arm, and you have to make him be in the zone. So really, that's tomorrow's their ace.
Oklahoma, they had base runners, but they didn't try to steal a base today. Do you think that was maybe how the game was playing out, or did you like the way that your guys were holding them?
Well, I thought Dietz did a great job. He was 1-3 to the plate from the left side, and then when they got down 5-1, then it's a risk to run. You can line into a double play. You can get picked off, thrown out, whatever. But I think you can credit Hunter with that. They lefties they're harder to run on, and they make you uncomfortable. And he picked a few times. He showed like, hey, I'm in control out here, and they just didn't do it. Now they're really good at it, obviously, if you look at the numbers. So we'll have to still, obviously, we're very aware of it.
Dave, it's 4 o'clock game on a Friday. People are working, but they seem to still get here today.
Yeah. Well, I told the team, or the offensive guys, the hitters, when we stretch and pitchers weren't out there, when we're getting ready to take batting practice about, 1:30 or whatever it was. I said, it's a Friday game, still Friday. I said the crowd will be about half a normal, but they'll get here, and you guys just need to play hard and be excited about it. I said, you never know when you're going to have to play day games in a conference tournament, in a regional or whatever, and if it's the first game, you got to go play and be excited about this. This Friday game in the SEC, and they did it.
Coach, appreciate it.
Okay.